The reason winners win is because they don't give a shit what you think about their losses. The reason I roll the way I roll is I don't care what your opinion is. I don't care what my mom's opinion is. And when you're in that cocoon, then you could just go fast because, you know, when I love losing more than my biggest competitor loves me losing, well, I'm unbeatable. Like, cause I love losing. I love the climb. I love the grind. I don't want the riches. I fucking love when people shit up. When I came out with my sneaker, I did a K-Swiss collaboration back in
I remember, that was cool.
Right. The amount of back channel chatter, and it's right. I'm a 42-year-old white businessman. What the fuck am I doing with a collaboration, right? And there was chatter, because even though I've done well, right? There was a lot of chat. I didn't do well in that world. So all the sneaker executives or all the kids in the street or all the people were chattering. I loved it so much. I loved when everybody—
You like the adversity.
My man, when I was 23 and I would like see some of my high school friends for like football during Thanksgiving and they all looked at me like, oh, you work at your dad's liquor store? My man, the chemicals in my body, I love it. The adversity, the negative is the advantage. People fear losing. And when you're losing from the get, when you start off losing, you don't fear losing, you just convince yourself the game is rigged and you start dwelling. If I can get you to stop dwelling, and if I can get you to stop fearing losing, then you're off to the races. I leave money on the table every day. I can Tony Robbins and Oprah this shit to the fucking end of life. I'm just not interested. I'm interested in doing me, documenting what I'm doing, putting out content, and if you happen to pick up on that, you're pumped, and you want to email me and say, you know, I was this and now I'm that, that's a high that nobody can ever understand, but I don't want to do that full time. I don't care what your point of view is. I went to Mount Ida College, 95% minority kids. I went to the mall 7 times in the first 14 days that I went to Mount Ida College. I got pulled over 4 times. You know why? Because the other 3 kids in the car with me were black. I'm like, unless you live that, you can't understand that. And I didn't live it. I lived it, I was close to it, but I'm still not it. But like, don't sit somewhere where you've never interacted with a culture and judge. You don't know what you're talking about. In the same way in reverse. Like when I'm on shows like this, or when I talk to homies, where I'm talking to the culture, and I'm like, yo, I got friends who have $10 million in the bank, trust fund babies who are more miserable than you. They're like, get the hell out of here. I'm like, you have no empathy. That sounds good.
Right. What
do you think it feels like when you've lost before you started? Because no matter what you accomplish, everybody's gonna be like, your daddy put you on, you suck. And that starts chipping away at you. Guys, there's a lot of youngsters listening. Guys, Michael Jackson couldn't get plays on MTV until CBS really threatened to pull everybody off of MTV. Michael Jackson. Like, what world? Like, I know that, like, it feels bad and there's all these things. It's better in life than ever now, not because we're better as people, but because the internet is decentralizing the world. All this cryptocurrency, Bitcoin stuff, everybody's in the craze, they're not being thoughtful. It's not about Bitcoin, it's about blockchain and what that technology means, which means you and I can sell you my home, one quick transaction on the blockchain, we both trust it, it's good, and none of the banks and all these people get their hands in our business. Right. Like, shit's going down, so go get yours. Like stop telling me you're gonna, or stop telling me like you got held back. If you have a smartphone, and guess what, all of you do, well then you have a studio in your pocket. If you're so good, spit your do I have to tell you about all the people that went and did car studio videos and put it on Instagram and are popping? Like, stop bullshitting. Now there's no more excuses. There's no hiding. Here's what's gonna happen over the next 100 years, and I'm glad I'm putting it on film and audio right now, because either maybe I'll be alive because technology's changing, or my great-grandkids are gonna be proud of me. We're about to go through the craziest 100 year of human beings. We're gonna take one big step backwards. We're in the beginning stages. I think we're gonna have a 10, 12 year of tension about all this shit. Like, this is not, by the way, this is not going away tomorrow. You have to understand what's gonna happen. Everybody's gonna get called to the mat. And then what people are gonna realize over the next 20, 30 years is like, wait a minute, everybody's flawed on something. Who's perfect? There's not a person in this room that doesn't do something that all the rest of us would judge as a real bad thing. It's just the way it is. So it's gonna take us 40 years to get there. But once we do, people are gonna be like, okay, wait a minute, we need to reset. Like, if everybody's got something, we need to react appropriately to that something. We need to have different conversations. Like the way we treat alcoholism today or depression today, the way we didn't 30 or 40 years ago, right? That scarlet letter, is going to change. And what's going to happen is we're going to live totally different lives. We're going to be far more acceptant of shortcomings over time because the hypocrisy is going to be out the bag. Because if I ever think Hillary Clinton or Barack Obama or George Bush or Donald Trump has any impact on me, I'm a fucking loser.
That's a good
Say
one.
that again.
That was a good one.
Super simple. The president has no impact on your life's happiness. Go do it.